Hello, my name is David Park, and I'm 37 years old. I was born in Montebello, California, and raised in Norwalk. I was first introduced to the gospel and saved when I was 6 years old. In any case, although I knew God and Jesus as my Savior, I did not gain a more accurate understanding of the Christian faith until I was 16 years old. But even after having experienced the conviction of the Holy Spirit during this time, I was very much like the prodigal son talked about in the Bible. Being bipolar and immature in my faith, I always had a tendency to run away from God after temporary pleasures whenever I would experience pain in my life. I would always self-medicate with drugs, and for the most part, I found my sense of identity in my gang, which I first joined when I was 13 years old. Having entered into this gang lifestyle at an early age, I experienced many things that people only hear about in the movies. By the time I was 16, almost half my friends were already facing life in prison for various charges such as murder. But for some reason, God saved me from having to face the same consequences as my friends. And the truth is, I've done many things in my life that could have warranted a life sentence. The only difference between the majority of my friends and myself was that I had deep faith in God despite the lifestyle I was living. And I believe this is why God showed me mercy. And as a result of my faith in God, every now and then I would repent and turn my life around towards God. Unfortunately, as I've already mentioned, I would enter a vicious cycle of following the Lord, only then to turn my back on Him whenever I would encounter hardship. But God was always there for me, ready to welcome me back home. God not only saved me by giving me extra chances for the crimes I committed, but He also saved my life more times than I can count, including the time when I was shot when I was 23. Anyhow, a lot of things happened in my life, but due to the time constraints, I won't get into everything that happened. Eventually, I came to a point in my life when I was 29 years old where I finally decided to take the initiative to pursue the calling which I knew I had, and I enrolled into Biola University as a biblical studies major. It was also at this time that I began serving at a Calvary Chapel as a youth pastor, which was one of the best times of my life. Unfortunately, though, it also became one of the loneliest and most difficult times of my life, as a result of bipolar depression resurfacing halfway through my time in the ministry. And as a result, believing that I was unfit for ministry, I resigned. This ended up being one of the most, if not the most traumatic experience up to that time. I ended up spending the next 6 years away from God, believing that I no longer had any purpose in life, especially since the only thing I wanted to do was serve Him. And so, just like the story of the prodigal son in the Bible, I once again ran away from God and began to live a life of recklessness, focused on self-sabotage, self-destruction, and also attempted suicide. Consequently, I ended up developing even more severe mental problems and became homeless and broken to the point of no return, or at least I thought. I ended up getting incarcerated in late August of last year and was facing a potential 25 to life sentence for the first time in my life. But it was through this event that I was able to return to the Lord. While in jail, I experienced the most peace and joy I've ever experienced in my life, and eventually would spend most of my time studying the Word of God and had the privilege to preach every day to the inmates I lived with. Anyhow, it was also during this time in jail that I was introduced to the Lock Ministry and Pastor Kehan. I had the opportunity to take part in the P1 project, which I truly thought was brilliant, or thought was a brilliant way to help people like myself get into the Word of God. And hearing about the Lock Ministry couldn't have come at a better time. It reignited the passion I had to help those who are broken, and I just knew that it was the ministry that God wanted me to serve, in which He had prepared me to serve by allowing me to go through everything I went through. Miraculously, God once again showed me great mercy, and I was granted mental health diversion. I was finally released from jail in May of this year and was able to join the Lock Ministry community. This ministry has truly been a godsend for me. Because of this ministry, I have not only fellowship and accountability, but also a platform to fulfill the calling that the Lord has placed on my life. Through this ministry, I have newfound hope, as well as a future in ministry, and look forward to being the first employee of the Potter's Hands Project. Ministries like the Lock Ministry are truly needed to help people who have lived similar lives to the life I have lived. And for this reason, it is my hope that you will take the time and take my word and come alongside the Lock Ministry and help support us in whichever way you can. Thank you, and God bless.